they did a hostage exchange apparently, and so the whole point of Hamas taking hostages on October 7th was so they could have something to negotiate with to get their hostages that were all taken before October 7th. That's, again, the part that Piers Morgan always leaves out, and everybody, and Rachel Maddow, and everybody else on corporate news, Sean Hannity, they all leave that part out. And so now they finally have killed enough Palestinians. They've pretty much moved everybody out of the north of Gaza, and they're still killing the people in the south of Gaza. That they decided to take a pause. The international pressure got so great that they took a pause in the slaughter. And let's remember why they didn't want to have a pause in the slaughter, a ceasefire, because then journalists would go into Gaza and report back what was actually happening, and people would see the horror. And so that's why they had to keep it going. So they finally stopped, and now they released someone here. And a lot of the prisoners that they're releasing are children. Palestinian children that were taken as children and put in jail without a trial. And so here's just a little bit of that. Here's and this is an interesting story about this. These are the hostages Israel is releasing today, 90% children, kids who run right into their mother's arms. Here we go. I can't vouch for that number of 90%. But so that's just something somebody said. Yeah, I get it.
You just don't like the music?
There's some more kids hugging their mothers.
So why do they arrest kids at it? Like what?
So this is what they'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is underneath that. This is from Visgrad 24. Ahmed Mansara was one of the Palestinian teenagers, saying that kid I just showed you was one of the Palestinian teenagers released by Israel today in exchange for Israeli hostages. Seeing the video of him hugging his mother, many pro-Palestinian people claimed Israel arrests innocent kids. Well, he and his cousin stabbed random 13-year-old and 21-year-old Jews. Okay. And then they show this video, right? So they show this video. So there's them with the knives in their hands, and they're chasing the Jews to stab them.
Wait.
Okay. So there they go. Now, what's the problem? So here, and there they are again. Oh, look, there's the knives in their hands. So what's the problem with this? According to Lord Bibo, he is not a teenager anymore. He did not participate in the stabbing, according to the Israeli court. Since he was not released, you have not seen him hugging his mother. So that wasn't that kid.
Oh, whoa.
That's a lot of wrong statements. Wow. And so then he points to this, and here it says, Ahmed Mansara was arrested in 2015 in relation to the stabbing and injury of two Israelis, aged 20 and 13, in occupied East Jerusalem. Although Israeli courts found that Ahmad did not participate in the stabbings, he is serving a 9.5-year sentence for attempted murder. Although Israeli courts found that Ahmad did not participate in the stabbings. So, again, that's the kind of propaganda you'll get. And it looks convincing. You're like, oh, they got the video of him. So apparently this isn't even that kid. Secondly, the kid that they're talking about here, Ahmad Mansara, was cleared by the Israeli court themselves of the stabbing. So as this guy says, that guy was not released. The guy who was convicted of the stabbing was not released. He is not a teenager anymore. He did not participate in the stabbing, according to the Israeli court. And since he was not released, you have not seen him hugging his mother. That was not him. Boy, that's a lot of wrong statements.
Well, I hate saying this, Jimmy, but I've seen more reliable narrations out of Ukraine.
I know, me too. So here's from Vox.com. Look at that. So this is from Save the Children. They say during arrests, 42% of children were injured, including gunshot wounds and broken bones, and 65% of children were arrested during the night, mostly between midnight and dawn. Half of all arrests took place in the children's homes. The majority of children experiencing appalling levels of physical and emotional abuse, including being beaten, 86%, being threatened with harm, 70%, and hit with sticks or guns, 60%. Some children reported violence and abuse of a sexual nature, including being hit or touched on the genitals, and 69% reported being strip searched. 60% of children experienced solitary confinement, with the length of time varying from 1 day to as long as 48 days. Children were denied access to basic services. 70% of them said they suffered from hunger, and 68% said they didn't receive any health care. That's from Save the Children organization. So I can't vouch for any of those numbers, but that's according to them. If you believe their numbers, then you can believe that.
Wait, based on that T-shirt with the pregnant lady, what do you think the odds are?
What do you think the odds are? Here's that's a nice picture, huh? Here, let's watch this. Here's some more video of Palestinian kids being released. I don't know how kids they are anymore. They look like they've aged a little bit. See, I don't know if y'all translate. He's yelling, "We're going to Disney World." I think that's what he's saying. I don't speak Arabic. Maybe we get Chris Hedges in here. He does. So there you go. Keaton, what do you know about the arresting of children in Palestine by Israel?
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, I've heard a lot about that. And this is something, when you have guys like Bill Maher and Douglas Murray try and justify what's going on in Gaza now under the guise of, well, Western civilization is more liberal and more advanced and more tolerant than Middle Easterners. And so therefore that gives us carte blanche to genocide them in broad daylight. Like that argument is just obscene on its face. But what's also absurd on its face is that Israel is this Western style democracy. It's a fascist police state, obviously. Those numbers from Save the Children seem spot on to me. I have no reason to doubt those numbers based on what I know. You showed footage, I think we showed this too a few weeks back, of the Israeli cops beating the shit out of the Orthodox Jews who were protesting for peace.
That video got demonetized. YouTube demonetized that.
Style liberal democracy. Sorry, what was that?
I said YouTube demonetized that video on me. Go ahead, finish what you're saying.
Oh, they demonetize videos left and right. I don't even try to monetize half the stuff we put out on this topic because I know that they're just going to flag them anyway. But yeah, no. So it's not even even the very conceit of this civilizational argument is wrong. Israel is a fascist police state. It's not a Western style democracy. They imprison children. And then the other point of this is, okay, so you're subjecting children to up to 48 days of solitary confinement, putting them through all of what we saw in those exhibits there, both the written and the video. And then you wonder why some of them act out when they get older. You wonder why Hamas does what it does. This is a state that routinely traumatizes people from, obviously, when they are children. So, I mean, it just should not come as any surprise.
Kurt, you have anything to say about the child prisoners from Palestine being released?
Well, not the release, but child prisoners, they're way ahead out there, They got the best surveillance, the best prisons. They get them young. Do you know, by the way, Keaton, when Hamas in their charter acknowledged the existence of Israel? Because I heard of it. Then we checked on the show the other day. But do you know when exactly that happened?
I'm not sure. No.
Oh,
sorry.
Sorry to let you down. Just to keep that, remember I showed that video of the fake feds. I mean, of the fake Nazis that were obviously feds in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They demonetized that video.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. Like I said, I don't even bother.
It's because I forgot to put the ampersand instead of the A in Nazi. Because if you can get around that, and that's a good way to get around it in the title. I don't think I'm supposed to be saying this.
It's insane that you can't
report
on a thing.
You can't report on a thing that actually happened with the actual word. Anyway.
So this says here, Kurt, 2017. I just looked it up to
Oh,
to
thanks.
see if I can give you that there.
So you remember-
that's based on 6 seconds of research. So don't
Yeah.
take that as
Michael
gospel, but
Rappaport
that's
told me to read their charter.
Yeah, Michael Rappaport. Yeah, right, exactly.
Michael, did you read it?
Remember when MSNBC's Jen Psaki twisted Trump's words to make it sound like he was going to imprison his political enemies, which is exactly what the establishment's trying to do to him?
Mhm.
That video also demonetized.
Really?
Yes.
What?
You can't go against the official narrative or it will get demonetized. At least demonetized.
I like how she twisted his words into something that I want to happen. We kind of screwed up there, guys.
Why do you think they did finally take this pause, Keaton, and to do this hostage exchanges? Because do you think they were taking heat for not getting the hostages out? The Israelis were taking heat for not getting the Israeli hostages out before they flattened and bombed the place?
Yeah, I mean, I think they saw an opportunity to get some of their hostages back because, look, don't forget, Netanyahu is not popular through all of this. Like, usually when you start a war, you get more popular. The Israeli government is still not popular amongst their own people. So I think, yes, I think they felt pressure to get their hostages out. But the other part of this that I'm very curious now, I wonder what the new line of bullshit is going to be from people like Bernie Sanders and Liz Warren, who says, well, we're not for a ceasefire, we're for a pause. Okay, well, now you got your pause.
What the hell does that mean?
What do we have, 2 days left on the pause? So in 2 days, when the violence starts up again, what's their new thing going to be? How are they going to present themselves as compassionate towards the people of Gaza when, okay, you got your pause and now the barbarism is going to continue? Are they going to now call for a ceasefire? Like, what's the new line out of them? I don't know what their next move is.
I don't know.
How do you starting up with Iran? That's probably the best move.
I can't believe they haven't started bombing Iran yet. That's the next move, right? Isn't that the next move in this? And then everybody forgets about what Israel did in Palestine. Am I wrong?
I mean, I've been promised a war with Iran my entire adult life. I'm a little upset I haven't gotten it. I mean, they've been teasing that out over the past 20 years, and it's still not here.
Have you seen that creepy chick Noah something? NOA is her first name, and she's like some kind of Israel spokesman. But my girl was watching, got all mad because it might have been Bill Maher, somebody she was talking to, but she's young and she goes, yeah, you know, Israel, we saw when 9/11 happened, and like we knew it was Iran the whole. She starts saying Iran. We knew it was Iran the whole time. You got to get Iran. I mean, that's like depraved to be that. Like,
so we went to the wrong country. We went to Iraq. We should have went to Iran.
I don't believe she was asked any further questions on that.
Yeah.
Oh, she was on Tim Dillon. So Tim Dillon had mostly like people.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Telling the Palestinian side. So he had this Noah. What's her name? It was on Tim Dillon. I haven't seen a clip yet. I'm dying to see. But Iran? She's threw in Iran to 9/11. David Frum didn't even pull that level of shit.
Michael Rappaport hasn't even pulled that level of bullshit.
Well, he's hanging out with her because I was trying to look up who she is. So the Rappaport's deal in this is like a lot of attention on him. This is a great move for him career-wise. You can't go wrong. They're like, yeah, we need guys like you who build up a lot of snot when they talk to talk to people like that. You know? And that's what it is. He's playing stupid. Like there's a level of stupid of just not knowing anything because you don't want to know nothing. And then he's playing extra stupid.
Yeah.
But this is like real Sean Penn.
I really can't get over the level of people who start the story in Act 3, meaning they started on October 7th. They did the same thing with Putin, with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. You're starting the story in Act 3.
What's on brand? I don't understand the people that start with October 7th and then leave out important parts of October 7th.
Yeah, the part that it took 6 hours for the military to respond to a bunch of Palestinians in flip-flops and hang gliders.
Yeah, living in a futuristic 15-minute city with all the surveillance. We get surveillance stuff. You know why they're such great friends to us? Because we get all this great surveillance technology. Because they're the best.
They're the best.
So that part of October 7th, I feel like that's part of the reason not to have a ceasefire, because it's hard to forget about that. And like Americans are pretty dumb, and I was dumb enough, but I have a feeling like a whole nation full of Jewish people are not dumb enough to not think about that in the days. And Netanyahu knows that. They already didn't like him for the other stuff, you know?
Yeah. Well, they have to have censorship. If they don't have censorship, if they don't have narrative control, they lose. And so they got to have censorship. And if they can have censorship, like if you stay inside their own censorship guidelines, like Russell Brand did, then they'll just discredit you, like they did this. So that if they can't do narrative control, they do character assassination.
Wait, he didn't stay in the.
And if he did,
oh wait,
they couldn't cancel his channel for a real reason.
Oh right.
They had to up this bogus hit job in the establishment press on him about his alleged past sexual exploits, which he's already written about.
Yeah, that's amazing how much. This is a real controversy. Oh, we're just going to take his money from his channel, and
they take it. Yeah,
no one cares.
He got.
Well, this is what Steven Crowder said. Whatever anybody thinks of him, it's not an endorsement of him more broadly, but he said something that's absolutely true. He said, "Never make the mistake of thinking that because you don't break the rules, they won't come for you anyway."
That's right.
They will find a way to change the rules, or they will find some way to shut you down if they want to shut you down.
Well, it sounds like you really like Steven Crowder, and that's me. That's me doing my Cornel West impression.
I have that actually printed on a mug.
That's what Cornel West would say to you if you said that.
It sounds like you're in solidarity with Steven Crowder.
Yeah, are you?
It sounds like you like Steven Crowder more than you're letting on.
That's what. that's what Cornel West would say. It sounds like you like Steven Crowder a little bit more than you're letting on.
More than you're letting
Brother
on.
Crowder?
Yeah. Cornel West completely blowing his reputation in that one sentence. Completely.
I mean, is that really more shameful than acting
not,
like
he
you
didn't blow,
like Anderson Cooper?
But he didn't. No, it's not.
More than you do like him?
But he didn't blow his reputation with Anderson Cooper, Rachel Maddow, and all the same people Jon Stewart likes to stay in good graces with. The establishment shit libs.
Yo.
I wanted to say one more thing about. I said this to the Young Turks when they were censoring it. When Apple, iTunes, and Facebook, and Instagram, and Twitter all got rid of Alex Jones on the same day. And I had a heated, you could see it, it's still up on YouTube somewhere, unless the Young Turks took it down, they might have, heated with an executive at the Young Turks on camera, screaming match, and me saying, "You're in the independent news space, you moron. You don't think they're going to come for you if you ever cross the establishment?" Well, little did I know that the Young Turks have no interest in crossing the establishment, and they knew they would never come for them, and they're not, because the Young Turks are playing good. They're good boys and good girls, and they take money from the establishment now. Jeffrey's, who's the guy they took? Katzenberg gave them $20 million, and Cenk lied. He went on the Hill and said, "I'll break some news. We paid that money back." You don't pay back an investment. That wasn't a loan. They didn't give the Young Turks a loan.
That's what he said?
That's why Jeffrey Katzenberg's hedge fund has a seat on the Young Turks board. The same reason why Buddy Romer's hedge fund has a seat on, now what's it called? An equity firm? It's the same thing. They have a seat on the Young Turks board. There's a board. The Young Turks have a board. Did you know that? And it's populated by proxies from billionaire hedge funds. That's who really runs the Young Turks. Okay. And
well, it's just funny. I mean, if you notice, everyone who's pro-censorship will never say anything interesting enough to be censored themselves. That's what makes them such cowards, right? It's very easy to advocate for censorship when you know that you're so boring that the censors will never come for you because you'll never say anything that takes the establishment off guard.
They consider it working dirty, like those comics, the ones that suck when they looked at, oh, that's because you're working dirty. That's what it is. Just it was the dirtiness, not being feeling more interesting than the corporate crap that you're trying to do.
God, over to Steph.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletter. Just visit